Ugh. Jesus, I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. Hello and welcome back to Bookmark Chronicles. Today I'm doing a drunk book review. It's been a minute, so this should be fun. For today's drunk book review, I will be drinking 19 Crimes Cali Red. I actually really like this more than I expected, so if you're a red wine drinker, highly recommend. So for today's drunk book review, we will be talking about Ensnared, book 1 in the Spider's Mate trilogy by Tiffany Roberts. So in this, we're following Kaitan. He is a Vrix, which is an alien spider species. He has 6 legs, 4 arms, and yeah. Anywho, the queen of his kind wants to claim him. However, he's not interested in her or anybody else really. He doesn't want to mate, and so he decides that he's going to live in the forest away from everybody else. After living on his own for like 6 or 7 years, he stumbles upon what appears to be a spaceship and finds a human. Her name is Ivy, and then we follow their story from there. I read this book off of recommendation of Kindle and Nicole, and it was something. It was something. This is actually my first alien romance, so I really didn't know what to expect. I had a hard time picturing Kaitan, and also would often forget that he was a spider, so that was interesting. I really struggled with the beginning of this book. It was so fucking slow and boring, and I was really close to DNFing it, but Kendall and Nicole told me to stick with it, so I did, but whew, the beginning is rough. As for the smut, it's a slow burn, so don't think that's all it is. It is a very slow burn. I'm talking like nothing really happens until very close to the end. So keep that in mind. If you're not a slow burn person, this is not the book for you. I didn't hate it. Apparently I rated 3.75. That feels wrong. Feels like that should be a 3.5 maybe. But again, I didn't hate it, and I will be continuing the series. I've already started book 2. I mentioned that I had a hard time picturing Kaitan. So like sometimes, I don't know, I think I would just like picture a regular human, and then something would be mentioned about his mandibles or something, and I'd be like, oh, this is a spider, like a literal fucking spider. But okay, we're just gonna keep pushing through. Would recommend if alien romance is your thing. I think as far as plot, we ended off in a really interesting spot, so I think that it's actually gonna get a little exciting. There might be a little bit of action. I'm hoping so. But that's really all I can say so far. So if you've not yet read Ensnared but would like to, this is your official spoiler warning. Okay, so it's probably safe to say that the reason that I found the beginning of this so boring is because of world building and everything, but like I just didn't care. I will say that the whole concept of offering day, confrontations with the queen, and being in the den of spirits, I think it's called, I did find that stuff interesting, but everything else was kind of just meh. Like I didn't really care about his friends or like the atmospheric descriptions. I just felt like it was kind of overdone. Because I have started book 2 already, I definitely think that I had an issue with the writing. I think that the author tries really hard to be like descriptive, and I think it's a little flowery and fluffy and not necessary. I'm clearly not a fluffy kind of person, so that just didn't work out for me. So once we leave the den of spirits and he has like his little confrontation with Queen, and she's being a tyrannical bitch like she is, he goes back into the forest and shit, and he falls into this pit, right? And this is how you know that he's about to find Ivy soon. However, I think I was at like 17%, and they still hadn't met, and I was just like irritated because he falls into this pit and he's exploring, and I feel like he's just walking forever. And I was like, I am bored. I'm having a really hard time understanding why people like this. But I was advised to keep going, so I did. So finally he finds Ivy, and that didn't start off too great for me either, because he sees her and he's like, this is my pet now. And I'm like, huh? What? Why is that the first thought that you have? Also, he kind of kidnapped her. Okay, whatever. But then, mind you, she's unconscious because she's in like this space pod thingy. What is it called? Obviously he's never seen a human before, he's never seen breasts before, but he starts poking at them, and I'm like, we don't feel people up when they're unconscious. That's not a thing that we do. So I kind of don't like you right now. I will say though, he never does anything to intentionally harm Ivy. He's actually very protective of her. When she finally wakes up, obviously she's freaked the fuck out because giant spider alien. I understand. But then they realize that they have a communication barrier. This is literally the only time that I will accept any form of miscommunication. There is a language barrier. So they kind of have to get to know each other, teach each other parts of their language so that they can actually communicate and have conversations and whatnot. And that part was actually kind of cool. I actually kind of liked it. So they're falling into routine. They're learning each other's language, learning how to communicate. There's a moment by the stream where you think they're gonna fuck and they don't. That was annoying, but it's okay. Keitan has to go back to his homeland like once a month or some shit for offering day, where he has to offer a gift to the queen or whatever, and this bitch literally just starts verbally and physically abusing him. I'm assuming this bitch ends up dead by the end of the series, because why wouldn't she? If she doesn't, I'm gonna be very upset. I'm just saying that right now. And then I think it's literally that day, he's all frustrated and whatnot. He goes home, him and Ivy fuck for the first time, and then they fall in love, and he claims her as his mate. However, Keitan was supposed to return for the high claiming, which is when the queen declares her mate, and it was supposed to be him because she's been after him for a really long time. He just decided not to fucking show up to that shit. So naturally, she sends somebody to track him down. It's her, was it called the Prime Claw, I think, like the head of her hunters or some shit. His name is Durax. Keitan ends up killing Durax, and then he's like, oh fuck, we're screwed. And that's kind of how it ends. So I will say that altogether it wasn't boring. There are some interesting plot points. The beginning was just bad. It was so bad. Also, the place where he kills Durax is the place where he found Ivy, and there are other humans that are still alive. So now we have to see what's gonna happen with that. But I'm actually really interested to see Keitan face off with the queen. Like I said, I want her dead. I think it'd be cool if Keitan's sister challenged her or whatever. That would be nice, but I don't know what's gonna happen. It'll be interesting. We shall see. I do have some notes on my iPad from when I read it, and they're visible on Goodreads, I think. Y'all know I don't really like Goodreads, so if you actually want to read my review, you'll have to go to my StoryGraph page. Plus, my Goodreads review actually links to my StoryGraph page, but you can at least see the highlights on there. So just to give you a little snippet of my thoughts, essentially Ivy joined this, I don't know, organization that was planning to go to another planet or whatever, and so my note there was colonizers, we hate to see it. Talking about the queen, I said this bitch is psychotic. There's a point where Ivy mentions her period, and my note there was, this bitch better not end up pregnant with alien spider babies. I feel like that's probably what's gonna happen, because why not? And then in regards to his and Ivy's relationship, apparently the tradition for a male to claim his mate, he has to like string her up in a web and some shit, and he's not really communicating all that to her, so she's like, what the fuck are you doing? And my note there was, can't be out here suspending people from ceilings without consent. So yeah, there's that. I still think that I'm going to change my rating from 3.75 to 3.5, but I will recommend this if you are interested in alien romance. As someone who is deeply freaked out by spiders, this wasn't as bad as I thought. I will say that. Like I said, I will be continuing the series. I'm interested to see what happens, and I'm really hoping that someone murders the queen. That right there is pretty much a sum of all of my feelings. Let me know if you have read Ensnared or if it's on your TBR. Otherwise, that's all I have for you today, and I'll see you in the next video.